You said it. It's an illusion. The exterior world is an illusion.
Yeah. Many of the masters said it.
I mean, it's a mind bending for sure. You know,
Mm.
for a lot of us. It's a damn good illusion.
The only one we know.
Yeah.
And afraid to try on a new one.
Or that we remember, right?
Mm. So what we really have for is to learn to embrace life of all that is. I think. It's all a part of the journey. Like we need challenge to grow. What doesn't kill you, make you stronger. It's like when we point the finger at ego, we give it energy, give it power, instead of embracing it for what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
embracing it without rejecting it.
Mm. Yes.
Kind of a little bit of the opposite, but or instead.
Yes.
We all had bad experiences in our life,
Exactly.
and at one point we're like, well, yeah, it's because of this situation, or it's this person, or it's this, it's that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Never took responsibility for it, right?
Yeah.
Never thought for a second that we might have created that.
Yeah.
Create that illusion, that
Yeah.
good illusion, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's all energy. You know, when you're feeding the negative, you will experience more negative. There has to be a certain balance.
So now all along was to bring up a feeling that was
Mm-hmm.
in our body to be felt. But by talking about a feeling, we avoid and we bury that feeling.
But it will still be there.
You know, it kind of common sense, right? Like
Mm.
talking about a feeling will never dissolve it completely because it's a feeling. It has to be felt.
Right. Right.
So you can talk to a psychologist 10, 15, 20 years, and you might have a temporary relief. But if you don't feel the feeling, then it's just talking, right? Like it's just
You know, it's like doing without engaging being,
yeah.
which is how we know, or which is how we live most of our life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, when we were learning, aka grade school, right? It was all about the doing, and we were being bored.
Mm.
There was no passion, really, right, for being there, except for to get the right answer.
Mm. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I love it.
And so it's aligning the being and the doing. So as the being is the catalyst, it's the emotion, which is the catalyst to the doing.
Mm.
It's in the unseen. It's in the world of intentions. It's like the world of emotions.
You're right. I can see with my kids, in that environment, days of days after days, they're coming home, they don't want to do anything.
and that is doing heartless.
Mm.
And the world says that's fine, appropriate.
Acceptable.
We're just going to beat you if you don't learn more. Because, right? Because everyone loves to be told how to do things. It is the best way to eliminate the being. And not eliminate, but put them on the sidelines. Put her on the sidelines. And give those emotions a timeout. Put them in a pen. Jail.
Hmm.
You don't need them out here.
That will train them up, right?
And we all experience, but we're all fixed in an array of degrees of that. We all have our version of that. We want something. We can't get it. And even, I don't know where I'm going with it. Yeah. So we become dependent on what we need being taken care of, things out there. So that is the only perspective that we have. And there's a lot of positives and a lot of downfalls to that. And I like to focus in on what's ineffective. Right? Like if it has momentum for for a life I love, I'm not going to look like that one's fine. We're going to let that one run. But I'm looking at what like goes against that, restricts that, limits that. Good life. Good life. Ooh, good life. Now, see, that's my own story, and it's not going to be the same as anyone. And I won't always remember that. And so I will judge you for your unique story, looking for the differences rather than looking how I could help. I'd be looking at judging mine compared to yours. And usually I want mine to be the best.
You do that, Jesse?
Mm-hmm. I do, Pascal. How about you?
Oh no. Oh no. No way.
Good. It's just me then.
Yeah. Yes. You're unique. Unique. Yeah.
Just me.
I
Well,
learned
I
so
mean,
much more about you now.
we're all trying to be Yoda.
Well,
I mean, did Yoda already forget his trip, his journey of how he got there?
Mm,
Because that can
perhaps.
happen. Because that can happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can become fixed in our arrogance. I did that one too. And like they have to go together. The being and doing have to go together, but they don't have to go together.
Mm.
That's cool.
Mm.
And I feel, since life is energy in motion, so that's the being and doing. The being is the energy, and the doing is the motion.
Mm.
Being and doing.
Yeah, it's
Now,
like a tornado, eh?
yeah, yeah. Right there's
May,
go ahead, Ace Allison.
are you sure? Maybe doing and being is momentum.
But and I think of momentum as energy, you know, like because there's degrees of momentum. And it's like I think that momentum takes the catalyst of the being and doing aligned.
Degrees, intensity.
You know,
Dizzy, can you say that bit again about being and doing aligned?
mhm. And so when the being and doing or the emotion aligns with the action, there's a momentum. We call it flow also. Another word is called flow. But that was what I would call towards the word momentum you used. So to be maximum momentum would be to have an expanding emotion, right? An expanding feeling, right? Of doing. And so, like expressing it in the world, doing it, bringing it, building it, creating it, right? Doing it in the world. That is what I would say aligned being and doing as maximum energy in motion is a human being's life.
Mm. Mm. Thank you.
And in nature, we call it destruction.
All creation, not so?
All creation. But like, I'm just talking about, like, thinking about tornado, tsunami, forest fire.
Yeah, I get you. But we could also apply that to the growth of a seed, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I was like, Allison sees it a different way, so I gotta find out how. And then I was like, and I saw like trees like start growing, and I was like, yeah, that's it, right? after the destruction, there's creation.
Mm. I love when that happens, when we get things from each other and feel that expansion within our souls.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
And with that, I have to say goodbye for today, reluctantly. Thank you so much for the beginning of my day, Edwina. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Alison.
Blessed day, Alison.
So that's in my word for today of aware. And then I can bring like aware of being, which is my emotional charge, my attachments, my triggers, my frustrations, my angers, my positive, negative, expansion, restrictions, limitations, contractions. It's like all of those things that I might experience is part of my being, like that I practice to be aware of. And maybe a couple a day happen. That's perfect, right? That's just enough for now because I know that I'm progressing. So aware of the being. How am I being? And it's just not that it should be a certain way. There's always two things. It's like the way that it is, that's fine. Like we need to learn to explore that. And then there's the way that I like what I want. How would I want to feel? And I just can't imagine anyone wanting to feel anger and tiny with that compounding pressure forever.
Right.
Because that being so much affects what we do. And I think our higher self, our life's purpose, our fulfillment in life is to explore that the relationship between our emotional and our creating capabilities. It's like our potential.
Is it fair to say that the doing is the mind, the being is the heart, and we have to connect?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that's a great way to look at it, Chi.
That just to come up to me, because
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy your explanation, and then it opens up for me too. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, like another way I'll say it is how I've learned to separate is to um, if they're the words in my if they're words, it's my doing, it's my head, it's my ego.
Mm,
It is my learned response. It is my automatic.
mm,
And it's so subtle and so quick in my head if I
mm,
hear words. Now, it's like we hear words, but it's not like the way we hear words with you and I.
mm-hmm.
Because it is, it's like it's called self-talk, right? There's the
Mm,
voice that goes on in your head, and people sit there and say, oh, I don't have that. Like it's going on in people's heads right now. They're just not aware
yes,
of it.
yes.
So the only way that people get to notice their self-talk is in the silence.
Mm.
Yeah, it's loud and clear.
But just because we come aware of it one time doesn't make us like good at it.
Right.
And then so it's like, all right, so that's one way that is like I can be aware of my my head voice,
Mm,
my self-talk, the words that I tell myself. Um, example of that, right, is that I was folding towels. So my wife and I were putting away the laundry. I was folding towels, and I thought it was like it was almost like I took it as a race, right? And it was like the words were, "She's judging you for how slow you are," right?
mm,
And like I had to like it's like we observe it out there, and it's like it's over there. It's like out of left field. I grab it and like look at it, and it's like, what is this?
mm.
Like, where did that come from? Like, why am I making this a race? And why would I say that she thinks I need to go faster? Right? Does
Yes,
that sound like a young child with some
yes,
unresolved issues?
yes. Because we're trained that way. We constantly, they're feeding us with the outside validation, and rewards and all that. But
Yeah.
it's a trap. At the other end of the reward and the validation, there's fear, punishment, shame, or blame, or guilt, and all of that shit.
Hmm. Which
Never
is,
enough.
that's right,
Mm,
never enough. You said it, Pascal, and yours was around information. I had it, mine was around money and enough proving, right? Same pattern. Pascal and I use it differently.
Hmm.
mm,
And it's like, it's that hmm, we think we're going to get it from out there. So it was like mine is like when I it really was like around when I have enough money, right? Then I'll be happy.
mm,
Right.
Well, do you see that? Like, I am creating a structure that says my happiness is dependent on the money, which is from out to there, right?
Mm.
When it's out there, then I can be happy.
Yes.
So it's an outside in game is what I'm playing.
Mm.
Just like, it's like when I'm hungry, right? My mom fed me
Mm.
and I felt better.
As
I
as
stopped
as a
crying.
kid, yeah, children they do all the stupid things, to just to get attention.
Yeah. We're trying all sorts of ways to see what
Mm.
works.
Mm.
And,
Yeah.
and mom and dad's just trying to be mom and dad, and the child's just being a
Mm.
child.
Mm.
We're unaware of how this shapes our every moment.
Mm.
In the doing, and it's like, and I look at the doing's like, it's like the action, right? It's like the movements that we make in life. It's what we know. It's a broad category as well. But I think the
Mm.
important thing is that is what the society values,
Mm.
is the doing aspect of it. And so that's why mm, people tell us what to do, right? And we don't like that, so we move away from it. So do you see there's no momentum?
Mm.
There's no alignment. And yet we do still do pretty good.
Mhm.
It's like that untapped potential, right?
Mhm.
So that's refinement, like refining awareness. So
Mm.
Chi, I honor your word today. And then I honor it with you, Pascal, in grounded. Grounded.
And I honor your awareness.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like there's so many. I was thinking of the easiest things to pay attention to. First of all, is like, how does no feel? So feel the word your no, feel it,
It's
which
like,
means say it, which means become aware of it, which means
mm.
like in the moment, notice your no.
Mm.
Notice the ones you say out loud. Notice the ones people tell you. Notice the no. And then, like the next step of that, noticing the no's is to try and say yes.
Yes.
Practice saying yes, because we're really good at saying no.
Mhm.
Now let's flip the page a little bit, try something different, and practice saying yes. Then you have to get creative. You can't be lazy and rely and hide behind the no. Oh, what happens in life then? It kind of gets a little unexpected. When you start looking for the yeses, you start making the yeses in life, well, it's not going to be the same as if you kept saying no to life.
The one
See,
is spelled
creation
with a, yeah.
wasn't made to say no to. So life is about finding ways to say yes.
Mhm.
No, that's not yes to everything. And yes, there are places we need to say no. The point is intentionally saying no and intentionally saying yes. That is the choice to life. From from my my from my driver's view, from my windshield, from my vehicle.
I'm with you. Yeah, that is really good. It's like the yes is the opening, you know, it's the allowing. The no is it's like an N, you know, like yeah, we pronounce the letters like N, like the N, you know.
And so that's the domain of space, right? That's space. And so what I hear you explaining, Chi, is the sensation, the feeling of expanding with a yes, or like limiting, contracting, ending, like the end, shutting off is the
Mm-hmm.
no. Like with a
Mm-hmm.
no, it goes nowhere. It's done. It's dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever that idea was, whatever that possibility, whatever that potential was that we said no to, we stepped right over it. It's gone. We're not curious about the no's. The no's have just become habit. And that's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
We call them ruts, routines, you know. There's a lot of ways to get it wrong, and again, wrong or right,
Yeah.
judgments. And so like
Yeah.
another thing is like we love to be a judge.
Mhm.
And well, I don't think we love to. I think it's just the it's the role that has worked the mm,
Yes.
uh,
Yes. We are playing certain roles. Yeah. So,
yeah,
It's a way of hiding our feeling.
that's right.
mhm.
And so here I'll do it's like some uh, so it's like the difference of hey, we're gonna go do dad today, right? We're gonna go do dad, do
Mhm.
dad. Doing dad is what we're gonna do today, right, guys? Like when if you're gonna go do dad, what do you think of today?
Providing, doing,
It's like that complete, you know, it's like you see the capital D, you know, it's a half of a circle, you know, it's only the
yeah,
half.
it's missing an element. Sure.
Mhm.
Yep. And, and it's like, oh, so then we go be dad. How do we be dad? And all it does is just open spaces because there's all the doing that we get familiar with that we do as a dad. But when we ask the being question, it's like, oh, being. There's a whole nother relationship. Like that's a whole nother place to engage with our children, with our spouses, with our coworkers, with our communities, with ourselves.
But it's like the being is only the half too, you know, because you have to put something next to it, you know, whether it's being aware or being open or being, I don't know, maybe I, uh, yeah, it just came to my mind, but
Oh, I agree with you, Chi. It's like what I hear is like when they're aligned, there's magic. Like so much more potential, so much potential. Like that's why I call it the catalyst. Like when they're aligned
Mhm.
with the two,
Uh-huh.
the being, the doing, it's like when they're aligned,
Yeah.
it's the catalyst.
Yes. I know. I
It's the
get it. I get it. Yeah.
spark.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes,
Mhm.
I get it.
And we
Beautiful.
all, we all, it's like we can call it flow, like the state of flow. And it's like we are in, and it's not like we're overly passionate about what we're doing in that moment, but it is, we are enjoying what we're doing. And time goes by so fast.
Hmm.
Right? It may not have been a complete joy, but it's like we get into these productive flow moments, right?
Hmm.
We there's just a lot of time that we're unaware of. I say 80% of our time we are unaware of, 80% of our, probably 100% of our being we're unaware of, or we're trying to control it, we're trying to cage it up. And I'm just looking at the potentials like of those are as we become more aware of our being human. That's great. Thank you, Chi. Thanks for
No, but yeah, uh, just what another thing came to my mind, that we are human beings, right? And I thought that I heard that human has come from being multiple color or something like that.
Hmm.
So that we are being many aspects, many we are multicolor. Yeah, maybe I'm rambling. That's what I get out of the word, human being. Yeah, being of many color, being of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
United, being united, right, is the
Mhm.
same, and yet, like our perspective is to find the differences,
Mhm.
right? What do we have in common?
Mhm.
What are our similarities? And you'll be shocked to find like that's the source of all the stories, is that fundamentally we're all the same.
Mhm.
Shocking.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you, Chi.
Yeah, this has been a good one to to get it fully in, that the doing, the being. It's like when I started coming to your call, Jesse, I was doing, I was doing fear, doing, lack, limitation, all that, and had, yeah, a lot of difficulty, picking up. But now that my doing beings are more connected, I feel like there's a more flow in my opening, and participating, in calls, and yeah, I can see the difference, and I think, yeah, I have connected the doing, the being. So thank you for, yeah, bringing that to my awareness. That's definitely a win for me.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chi. Thank you. And like it's like that's what we get to do together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And at least that's my choice in the morning, right? It's like what do we create? What do we bring together? How do we be and do love? Like how do we be love? How do we do love?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do we do curiosity? How do we be curious?
Mm.
How do we accept? How are we open? And it's like this space that we created for all these years is like what I was able to see was the my triggers to what was happening in the conversations. Now, it wasn't every conversation, it wasn't every time. Sometimes there was situations that it's very rarely things happened that were outside of the norm, but when they did, it was like I was a trigger and it was a lesson for me to learn. And out in the real world, like there's not that safety to practice it. Where here you practice it, you get good with it, you release it, right? You can let it go, and then that
Yeah.
allows it to be gone when you're out there in the world.
The
That's a
non-judgment, yeah, it's very important.
yeah. Oh, and it's like I think that's the goal, right? I think that's the strive for. It's like I don't. It's not like it ever goes away, but we can switch it so it's not the dominant force.
Yes, yes.
Use the force. Mm.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I see it as a playground.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? We explore things, different topics, different this. And then we're
And
creating together.
mhm. There's room for taking it in any direction you like.
We're building something together, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, who would have known, 5, 10 years ago that we would have this group?
Oh, we knew it. We just didn't remember.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, yes. Like I believe in we have a soul contract. We choose to be here. There's something we want to learn.
Oh, well, I thank you all for this morning, sharing it with me, and hope you guys have a great day and see you again soon.
You all have a blessed
Thank
day.
you all.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Have a great
Brother
day.
Nat.
Have a nice day.
Later.
Bye.
Enjoy the present moment.